Welcome once again. And in this video, I will be discussing about the hiring process and some of the things you may have to deal with and how you can handle it. And I'll first start off by saying this is my experience in the state of Maryland. Yeah, because each state may be different and the kind of requirements that they need. Yeah, so I am saying this, or I'm talking about my experience, not like it doesn't mean it relates to every state and how they go about their stuff. So I am just talking about my experience, and I know, like, at the end of the day, I know it can help, because I believe, in as much as I've not been to I don't really know much about other states. I believe it's related. There are certain things that are really common when it comes to correctional office staff. So first and foremost, what I did is all right, let me start with this. I came here September, and then I applied this job October as a correctional officer. One thing that amazes me is, by then, what like amazes me was, like, the moment I applied, right the following day, they reached out to me. They called me, and then they scheduled an interview, like online virtual interview with me. So that was like after 7 days, they fixed a date. They said I should choose the one and the time if it's okay for me. So I think I chose around 3, the following day. So I came home early, I set up my everything, and then the exact time they were on point. You know, when it comes to corrections, they don't joke with their time. Yeah, every correctional officer will tell you, when they tell you have to clock in 3:30, you have to clock in 3:30. Yeah, they don't joke with their time. So it was about 5 people on the panel. The questions were coming from all angles. And then the question, why do you want to join corrections? What makes you, did someone like who into the, how did you hear about corrections and all that? I mean, like normal questions that, you know, everybody should be able to answer, though. And then the funny thing is that they told me it's the interview is about 20 minutes, but within that 20 minutes, you have to write, you have to do a test, English test on it within that 20 minutes. I think they want to see your English ability or something, because it's like a case study. They will give you a scenario, and then you have to, you know, write about it. They need about 150 or 200 words. Yeah, within that 20 minutes, the interview and the test that you are going to write, you'll be writing, is the same. Is within that 20 minutes, and I was able to, because the officer was like, if you don't pass, it will take you about 1 month before you can be able to apply again. So after submitting it, like it will come on your screen, congratulations. That is when you know that, okay, you have done everything correct. So the officer will come back again and tell you, like, you will be hearing from them. And then I think I waited for like 7 days, and they sent me an email, like congratulations email. And then if you are being hired, like how much they are going to give you annually, your salary, like annually, and all that. They will give you some forms that you have to know your requirements and all that. And that reminds me, before I continue, as a foreigner, if I wouldn't say a foreigner per se, but if you have a foreign certificate, the first thing, like, to me, what I did is, the moment I got here, the first thing I did is to evaluate my certificate, because when you are even looking for a job and all that, you know, so that is one thing I have to put it across. The moment you get here, the first thing you have to do, if you know you did not, your certification is not from America, the first thing you have to do is to evaluate it, because the longer it takes, it prolong the process. The little mistake you do, or it prolongs it, like, to cut the whole story short. Yeah, so that is before, like, to me, my certificate was already evaluated. Yeah, that also helped me a lot, because when you look at their forms, the requirement, don't forget, it starts from high school, like from high school to your highest. You can use any of them. So what happened after that, after reading all those things, they sent me a whole, I mean, I nearly I nearly even forget about this, because when you look at the forms that they sent, it's about 40 pages or something. Everything, even your work experience, it goes back to, like, your 5 years back. And then your addresses that you have, like, all the addresses, like, 5 years back, they're all the places that, like, you have stayed before 5 years, your working experience and all that. So I did all those things, and then I submitted it. And then one thing I need to tell you is, you need to be very, very, very patient, because mine took about 6 months. I mean, in all, but for this, it took about 3 months. After submitting the forms, it took about 3 months. The 3 months, what happened? I think maybe I might also be, the fault might be from my side too. But why am I saying that? They emailed me after 3 months, and then they asked of my driver's license, if I have driver's license. By then, I didn't have any driver's license, so I believe it also took time. They were waiting for me, because the moment I got my driver's license, and then I scanned it and email. I did it on Sunday. Monday, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. She responded, and she thanked me. She said, "Received, thank you." 1 p.m. they emailed me different form. I'm like, they have embarked on the my process again, because it seems, because of my my driver's license, they held on until I get it before they continue. So they email me that I have to do in-person interview at their headquarters. So another 7 days or 2 weeks or something like that. I went there in person. I met my investigator. I didn't know it's like that man is my investigator. So I was there, and they gave me some forms, and I filled it and everything. They called me to a room. I did fingerprint, and after that, they said I should wait. Before then, when the email that they sent me, then I have to go along with my evaluated certificate. That is why I'm telling, because when I went there, the experience that I some of the things that I saw, most of the colleague that I went with, they have to go back and then go and do the evaluation again. So that thing can even take them back like 3 months again. But meanwhile, the forms that they will send you, it's in. You have to do, if you have a foreign certificate, you need to evaluate it. So when I was there, when the one officer came, and then he said we should bring our certificate. So I just brought everything. I said, oh, they need the sealed evaluated certificate. That's the only thing. They took it to the office, whatever they did with it, I don't really know about it. And they returned it, and they said I should wait. So about 30 minutes, they called me to one room. That man happens to be my my personal investigator. He was very, very, very nice man. Very, very, very nice man. So what they do is, when you go, the forms that you filled, he will go through with you again, one after the other. It's about 40 pages or something. He has printed, they have printed, or maybe you made a mistake or something. They have to correct it before now they put it again in the system. So he went he went through with me one after the other, and after that everything, and then he told me that is he's going to be my investigator. So that means at the end of the day, and I told you I was coming from South Korea, so that is why I went to study too. I worked for there like 5 years or something. So most of the 5 years back started from South Korea, not in Ghana. So they email, they don't joke, they email everything you put, you print on that form, they'll email those people. And that thing too can even waste your time, because most of the companies, they don't even reply emails. So it's your responsibility to follow up. That is what they investigate. It's your responsibility also to follow up. He will do it, but when they don't reply, his hands are tight. So you have to follow up, because you know the companies that you gave or you put on the form. So that is one thing to it. And then secondly, that in-person interview. Trust me, when it comes to correction, personality is their hallmark. You need to be on point, because they mark all those things down. Your appearance, how like the way you sit, the way you when they ask you questions, the way you answer, they look at your body language, everything. They don't joke, because don't mind, you are going to work in a confined environment, dealing with an inmate. So they have to look at all those things. So we're done there, and then he once the point is, he gave me his complimentary card. So if anything, and maybe have some question I need to. So I'm that type. Every 3 days or 4 days, I'll email him if they have sent my background. They have started my background. So when he started the background stuff, he texted me, and then he told me that I should follow up. So what I did is I started calling my people, because you need to check your email, because that one alone, the more they wait, the more your things go through. So I think all those things add up. And if you don't take care, your application can be as long as 1 year, because a lot of people that I met, some of them, they said they even apply for like 2 years. So even mine, I was crying that 6 months, not knowing we have seniors in it. So all those things, you need to be very careful about it. You have to make sure. And once again, this the evaluation thing is very, very, very important as a foreigner. If you have foreign certificate too, you need to that is one thing you have to do the moment you get here, because it's going to take you far. And apart from even a correction staff, even if you are applying for a job, school and all that, you still need to evaluate it. So it's very, very important to do that. So after my physical examination with my investigator, and then that one also took a while. It took about almost like, if I am correct, it took about 3 weeks for the background check alone. It took about 3 weeks, because sometimes the way they send their forms, you have to use you have to edit the forms or use some PDF and then fill it before you can be able. And then most of us, or most of the people doesn't really know much about IT. So sometimes they will send it, and then the investigator will not be able to even open it. So the investigator will get back to me that this is the issue. I have to call them again or email them. So it was back and forth. And one thing I learned about all this thing is this hiring process. One of the things that I took notice about is every job, or everywhere you be working, every place you find yourself, you have to be yourself, because at the end of the day, if you don't take care, it will come back to haunt you. Trust me, all these things went smooth for me because of my relation with wherever I work, the people there, my relationship with them. Because if you don't take care, that thing can mess you up there, because they are really, really, really particular about those things, because they don't know you. So they will listen to all these things and then evaluate it and say, okay, if this guy worth enough to be a correctional officer. So it's very, very, I quite remember one of, I mean, I feel so bad for him. He failed because of that thing. Yeah, he went through everything just because of those things. They didn't hire him. Yeah, so you have to be very, very careful about all those things. Wherever you work, you just have to be patient. You know, yeah, you don't allow your emotions to overcome certain things. Yeah, it's very, very important. So after all those things, later finally my investigator emailed me that everything is okay. So I thought that was all. Later they emailed me again. After that, it seems like everything was, fast. Like it was going fast and faster. Like it was, they were speeding things up. And then they emailed me after 7 days or 15 days or something like that. I've really, please, you just have to bear with me. It's been quite some time, so I have to go and take my polygraph. That one too was another headache for me, because the only time I see all those things is in the movie. Yeah, so I was like, how is it going to be like? Because the moment the least mistake, that one even can fail you. People fail because of polygraph. I went there. That is one thing. I always go to place on time. Like, I don't like to be late. I went there. I met this the polygrapher. She took me in. We started. What they do is she will start to have a conversation with you and everything. All those things, they use psychological, just to know the kind of person you are and all that. So they set everything on me, the machines, everything. I was there, show you how to sit and everything. And the questions started flowing. Mind you, that is why you don't have to lie on your forms, because the form you filled is the same thing they are going to ask you. I filled this form about 4 months ago. So if I lied on that form, it would have reflected there, because it's the same thing, and then they will just twist it a bit. They can ask you a question right now. After 10 minutes, they will repeat the same question again. So it was very, very intense, but God being so good, I was able to go through it. So after everything, I feel like everything is like 1 week. After 7 days again, I went for my medicals, physicals. They have to check. That is one thing too. They have to check your urine, if you have some drugs in you and all that. They check your tuberculosis and everything. God willing, I was able to go through that one too. And then the last thing I did before I got my employment letter was psychological examination. So, my first time when I had psychological examination, I thought I'm going to meet one-on-one, and then they will start to ask you questions. But it was like a test on its own on the computer. It's about over 200 and something questions. And mind you, even with that, people can still mess up. Yeah, and it will shock you that some of the things that you see on your forms, you see the same thing there. That is why you have to be very, very, very careful. When you say A, you have to say A to the end. You don't say A and at the end of the day you meet your polygrapher and you say C, because every question the polygrapher is asking or ask you is something that you provided. That is the fact. So you have to be very careful about it. And let me remind let me just remind you about something. It's not every state that does a polygraph, but with the state of Maryland, it's one of the it's part of the hiring process, but it's not every state. Yeah. So that was the last thing I did. And then after that, I just waited for my I was just waiting for my how do I say this? I was waiting for my offer letter, yeah, or my employment letter. Even that one even also took forever. And then I think that was on the 15th or 14th of April. They emailed me and then asked me once again if I am still interested. After going all through this, they will still email you and ask you if you are still interested of becoming a correctional officer. And you need to reply within like 2 working days or something. You need to reply. Or I think like it was around around 12, on the 12th or something. They'll give you like 2 days or something to reply. So I replied that yes, I'm still interested. And then that was on the 17th. They finally sent me an email, my employment, like officially my employment letter. But that doesn't mean you have the job 100%. But with that one also comes with the facility in which you'll be working. That is after you go through your academy. That is next thing that we are going to discuss about. It's like you have a job, you don't have a job. But right from that, on the 17th, the state has already they have started paying you already. But it doesn't mean you have the job 100. You have to go through the academy and complete the academy before you know that finally you have a job. Yeah, that is one thing we are going to talk about in my next video. So that ends my my hiring process. And if you find this video very helpful, please again, like, subscribe. And then if you need any help from any other states, just leave your comments below and I'll reply you and then give you the necessary support that you really need. And then trust me, the next video is very it's going to be very interesting, because that is where the journey even starts. With the process, everybody can go through the process and all that, because it's something that you need to follow. But with the academy, that is where the journey starts. So till then, I hope to see you next time. Bye.